Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 catchphrases from the 90s.
You say circus and that is your final answer?
My final answer.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
You know what? Talk to the hand.
For this list, we're looking at memorable sayings and quotes from 90s movies and TV that were probably repeated just a little too often. There were so many catchphrases in the 90s, we are sure to have missed at least a few, so be sure to let us know your favorites in the comments. All right, let's get to it. Number 10. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. The Godfather Part 3. You could probably make an entire list of memorable quotes from the Godfather movies alone. It's a trilogy of films treasured by millions since its release.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
This particular line, said by Michael Corleone, shows how, despite all he's accomplished, he's never going to be able to put his life of organized crime behind him. It's made even more poignant when he suffers a diabetic stroke moments later.
Michael! Michael! Oh, God!
The line has been used in other popular media, including a bit on the show Friends, where Joey stands in for Al Pacino.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in!
And let's not forget Syl's solid rendition of the line on The Sopranos.
Hey, Syl.
What?
What? I've been going a long time. Let me hear it.
Just when they thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Number 9. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. South Park.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastard! Come back here!
For the first 5 seasons, South Park's biggest running gag was the killing of Kenny. In practically every episode, we would see the young man in an orange hoodie fall victim to some type of unnatural or natural disaster. In some instances, he'd just run into some plain old bad luck. Each time he would die, Stan and Kyle would exclaim,
Oh my God! They've killed Kenny! You bastards!
Then the following episode, Kenny would reappear, with no one acknowledging the fact that he had died. The "oh my God" quip became a signature line from the show.
Oh my God! They've killed Kenny! You bastards!
Although they retired the gag in season 6, Kenny's death and the subsequent exclamation do pop up from time to time in the later seasons.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny! You bastards!
Number 8. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Given how popular Dwayne Johnson has become in Hollywood, it's easy to forget that he was once the mainstay of the squared circle.
If you smell what the Rock...
Even with his countless victorious championships, he decided to take his shot at acting, and like everything he does, landed well on his feet, with perfect form probably.
Lean forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Come back. If you smell... And then right here is where you gotta do a little tongue thing. Okay? This is where it gets interesting. If you smell...
Much like a wrestler's intro music, The Rock coined his own share of memorable catchphrases that have stuck with him ever since.
The Rock says you all 4 jabronis can go right down to the Tropicana Hotel. It's right up the road. You find the absolute best slot machine you can find. You can't miss it.
Our pick is his own spin on the commonly heard "Do you know what I'm saying?" As a quick one-liner in the earlier years of the WWE, it aged into something far more drawn out than was originally intended. Keep in mind, there are some variations to the line.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Number 7. Yada yada yada. Seinfeld. If you're a good storyteller, chances are you've skimmed over the boring parts of your anecdote to focus on the more interesting stuff. Seinfeld took on this exact concept in a season 8 gem of an episode.
I'm on 3rd Avenue, minding my own business, and yada yada yada. I get a free massage and a facial.
Wow. What a succinct story.
Yada yada becomes a substitute for the parts of the story you'd rather glaze over. So when George's girlfriend Marcy uses it to seemingly cover up sexual relations with her ex-boyfriend, George instantly becomes suspicious.
So speaking of exes, my old boyfriend came over late last night, and yada yada yada. Anyway, I'm really tired today.
It carries over to several other characters in the episode, whose stories each get misconstrued due to the phrase. Despite already being a commonly used term, Seinfeld propelled it even further into the spotlight, and audiences have been reciting it ever since.
I gotta tell you, I am loving this yada yada thing. You know, I can gloss over my whole life story.
Number 6. Did I do that? Family Matters. Would you have ever thought someone as annoying as Steve Urkel would become as popular as he was?
Did I do that?
From the moment Jaleel White stepped into those suspenders, audiences became enamored with the quintessential nerd. Forever a klutz, he was a kid who knocked things over and tripped on virtually everything. And from all that, he gave us this very quotable line.
Did I do that?
His voice easily got on most people's nerves, but there was something so lovable and hilarious about his antics and his quotes. All these years later, kids of the 90s are still quoting him, which we can only assume confuses the whoa mama out of Gen Zers.
Did I do that?
Number 5. How rude. Full House. How rude would it be for us to forget this line?
How rude.
As the second family sitcom on this list, Full House was another show that produced plenty of quotable bits through its 8 seasons. Little Michelle was pretty adorable every time she opened her mouth and said,
You got it, dude.
And of course, we'll never forget Joey's cut it out gag.
Thank you, cut it out.
However, for this entry, we're gonna give it to Stephanie's short and sweet quip every time she feels wronged by someone. They're 2 words that were often repeated throughout the show's run, and in turn, by all those who watched it.
How rude.
Number 4. Hasta la vista, baby. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. All you have to do is Google which Terminator movie is the best, and you'll find a pretty common consensus. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is hands down the winner of the franchise.
Hasta la vista, baby.
With solid action, a great story, and characters you can connect to, this action flick has it all. One of the most quoted lines from this movie is heard while young John Connor rides along with a Model 101 Terminator.
And if you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Translated from Spanish, it loosely means see you later. Arnold Schwarzenegger himself has become synonymous with the saying, even using it during his political career. Number 3. As If. Clueless. You guys ever wonder if Cher's seen this movie? Imagine the goddess of pop herself seeing this young woman with the same name as her thwarting the advances of some guy with this iconic quote.
As if.
Clueless was the defining teenage movie of the 1990s, much like Mean Girls was for the aughts. Like countless other teen comedies, memorable phrases continue to be repeated by audiences long after the film is over.
Okay, so he's kind of a Baldwin.
It's a very simple line, and something that might have easily been overlooked had it not been for Alicia Silverstone's fantastic performance. Sure, there are a few other notable bits that could have made our list without a hitch, but
whatever.
It's Cher's delivery of As If, and its reiteration over the ages that wins us over every time. Number 2. Dope! The Simpsons.
I'm Charlie Old St. Nick.
Oh, yeah? We'll just see about that.
Having been on the air for so long, The Simpsons has been responsible for countless catchphrases that are still relevant to this day. From Mr. Burns' famous tagline to pretty much anything Bart has ever said, it's a show that was made to be re-quoted by fans.
Eat my shorts.
All right, I'll eat your shorts.
Given the treasure trove of options, you might think it would be difficult to pick one. But Homer Simpson's most famous shout far exceeds others.
Yes, the 60s may be dead and gone, and its spirit long since extinguished, but its ideals live on. Freedom, love, and peace.
Originally written in the script as Annoyed Grunt, dope has become so ingrained in our culture that it was even added into the Oxford English Dictionary in 2001.
I've never seen him happier.
Sorry, my Homer Simpson is not nearly as good as my Barney Gumble. Anyway, we've got some fun honorable mentions to get through, and then we'll see if I try to impersonate our number 1 iconic catchphrase of the 90s. Spoiler alert, I do. Isn't that special? Saturday Night Live.
wasn't that special.
Getting jiggy with it, Will Smith.
Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it.
Alrighty then. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
What do you want?
HDS, sir, and how are you this afternoon? Alrighty then.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. How you doing? Friends. No one could have ever predicted how one little throwaway line would stand out among so many others. This legendary pickup line was introduced in Season 4 of Friends, when the show's most lovable goofball was first heard saying it.
How you doing?
Very busy. It very quickly became a favorite among fans, and thus, Joey's signature catchphrase was born.
How you doing?
Matt LeBlanc's delivery of most things kept the audience giggling, but this quote in particular was an instant hit. With Friends having seen a resurgence in the streaming era, it's a quote that has now come full circle. So we've gotta ask,
how you doing?
Can you think of any other iconic pop culture phrases that were overused in the 90s? Did you try to work "got milk" into everyday conversation? I know I did. Be sure to let us know in the comments which is your favorite 90s catchphrase. Or come tell me on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton, or on my YouTube channel. See ya!